This is the iVANKY FusionDock Pro 1 Plus, and today I'm going to show you everything that you need to know before you decide to buy one. This iVANKY dock that I have right here is specifically made for MacBook Pros, and the reason being is that it has one feature which completely separates it from all of the other docks on the market, and that's the support for free external displays at 4K 60Hz, which wouldn't be anything special if you're working with a MacBook Pro with a Max chip, but if you're working with a Pro chip instead, then the maximum amount of external displays would usually be just 2. But this dock uses display link technology in order to enable you to actually use free displays. In the box you can find the dock itself. Underneath it there is going to be some paperwork and a box with all of the cables that are included. This includes a power brick with a power cable and a USB-C to USB-C cable. This USB-C cable is going to be the only cable that you need to connect to your MacBook. Everything else is going to be taken care of by the dock itself. So let's go over all of the connections that you have in this thing so you actually know what you can connect to it. And I really like that iVANKY actually chose to label all of the icons around this thing so you know what you're plugging into it. So the first port that you're going to occupy 100% of the time is the DC in, which just comes from the power brick that I showed you earlier. Now right next to it you have a 2.5 GHz Ethernet connection. Next to that are 2 USB-A ports, and you also have USB-A ports on the other side with 4 in total. And all of these can run up to a speed of 10 gigabits per second. Now comes the main highlight of this dock, which are the free HDMI ports. The first one is just plug and play. You can use this with an external monitor like I currently have. That's why I'm, by the way, not showing you all of the free displays, because I don't actually use free displays. I barely use the one external one that I have. But if you would like to use the full capacity of this dock and actually run the 2 or 3 displays that you have available, you are going to need to install their display link driver. So on the opposite side in the middle you have the 2 USB-A ports that I told you about, and right to the left of them are 2 more USB-C ports which both run at 10 gigabits per second too, and one of them is supported for power delivery. That means it has a power output of 20 watts, and the other one is just 7.5 watts. So if you would like to charge your phone from this dock, definitely do it through the power delivery port, because the other one is just going to be barely enough for something like your watch. Then to the right you have a TF card slot as well as an SD card slot, and both of these can run up to 312 megabytes per second. And to the very right you have a 3.5mm headphone jack. As for the size of the dock, you have a security slot on the right, and on the left you have the actual USB-C output that is going to go to your MacBook with the fancy cable that you unboxed. The build quality of this thing is pretty solid, because I thought it would be a little bit worse because it's entirely made out of plastic, but you know, it's one of the fancy plastics. It's not that rough, scratchy stuff. It's this nice polished plastic that actually feels pretty good to the touch. And anyways, you don't have to really care about how it feels that much, because the dock is just going to be sitting at the far end of your table out of the way, and you're pretty much never going to touch it outside of plugging something in. And to come clean with you guys, I didn't actually purchase this dock. That's why this video isn't an actual review. Instead, it's just a showcase of the dock, because I don't like doing reviews for products that I didn't actually spend my own money on. And basically iVANKY reached out about a month ago now that, oh, we could send you one of these and you could test it out with your setup and let us know in form of a video what you think about it. And I must say I really expected the worst, because in the past, as I used the USB hubs and docks, they really didn't step up to the standard, and all of them were super unreliable. I thought that, oh, you have to spend like $500 for a dock to actually work properly. And I'm not going to pretend that this one is kind of cheap compared to all of the other ones. It's $300, so it's pretty expensive. But then again, if you're using like free monitors and you have all of the stuff to plug into this thing, I think it's pretty worth it to pay for that quality. And then again, you're getting all of the speeds in the world with this one, because you're getting 10 gigabits per second on all of the USB ports, and also a 2.5 gigabit connection through Ethernet, which is quite the premium lineup, so I can understand the pricing over here. And by the way, if you're an absolute freak and you need all of the resolution in the world, they also have a more premium version of this, which is their Max dock, and this one can support up to 4 displays, with 3 of them being 6K and 1 of them being 4K. Like, the only downside that I found with this dock over like the last 3 weeks that I've been using it is that I don't have enough stuff to actually plug into it. Because you see, with the MacBook, I always try to get a wireless version of everything that is possible. But I have been actually testing out the USB mouse with the actual USB connector that it comes with, and the dock has been excellent. It's been really holding the connection tight, and thank God I don't have to use one of those stupid little extension cables that goes from USB USB-C to USB-A and then connect it up with just one cable to my MacBook and don't care about anything else. Also, one thing that I wanted to mention at the end, because if you made it all the way here, you're probably a nerd into this stuff or you're just doing all of the research in the world, so this is a pretty interesting fact that I learned. So it's that if you have a dock with power delivery, by the way, this dock delivers 100 watts of power through the port to your MacBook. So if you plug this in to your MacBook and you also connect your MagSafe charger, the Mac is actually going to be pretty smart about it and it's going to prefer the connection with the higher power. That means I have my maxed out charger over here which charges through MagSafe with 140 watts. So in my case, it's going to prefer the MagSafe over the dock. And the dock is basically going to act as a better USB hub. By the way, if you actually plan on buying one of these docks or pretty much anything else from their website, I will include a 10% coupon down in the description that you can use. And that's a little gift just for watching till the end of the video. So that's gonna be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.